Again, I've made my eye green, and now we're going to really zoom in and get some of those crazy details. I'm going to put my pupil on a different layer just because that's how I roll. And I'm going to start naming my layers because that's a really good habit to get into. And white. Otherwise, you'll be playing what layer is this on? Pupil, lines, sketch. I'm not a naturally organized person, but sometimes you gotta be. So for my pupil, even my pupil is going to have some dimension, but we'll start with kind of like an almost black towards the center, like so. Woo! And this might actually be a good candidate for. No, we're going to stick with soft brush for this. I'm indecisive this morning, can you tell? All right, I'm going to come back to my green. This is when I want to lock my pixels. And I'm going to start, if you notice, if you look at a human eyeball, the colors are often darker when you get close to the pupil. We're going to have some threatening drums in the distance, guys. They're often closer when you, or darker once you get closer to the pupil because that's where the muscle is contracting. So I'm going to go a few steps down and come up in here, like so. I've got my opacity at 100%. And I'm actually going to do that. Wow! It didn't lock my pixels. Oh, because there's already white there. If I had put the white on another layer, that would have worked. But it didn't, so I have to be a little more intentional with how I do this. And I'm just coming in. And this is when you can start to use all your fun filters and stuff too. Or your smudge tool. If you want to get excited and have a drum party, you can do that too. I'm just going to smooth that out just a little bit. But I want to keep that round shape. Nice blend. And here's where it's going to get fun. We're going to scribble. Okay. It may have been a good idea on my part to put the iris on a different layer for this, but you know, it is what it is at this point. I'm going to stay within the same color family and get real up in there. Is looking at you. And start to pick some different shades of green. I can mess around with my brushes. I can have a headache. Don't use anything that's a blender, guys. That's only going to blend what you already have. It's not going to add anything. I kind of want to play with the Impressionist one, but it's not going to work right. Let's just do soft round pressure size. Pressure brushes just mean how hard are you pressing. Your tablet will react to this a little bit, not a whole ton. So I'm going to just go around. We'll just leave this as a round brush. Hey, there you go. And shrank it down because I'm just going to go nuts with this. And this is why I put my pupil on a different layer. And I want to be playing around with width. Not all these lines are going to be the same. I'm smudging. That's cool too, though. Small. There we go. There's my bright green. And it looks really scribbly and stuff up close, but I promise you, as we continue, it's going to look really cool. And don't necessarily stick with just straight lines. You can let them wiggle. It's okay to wiggle in this class. This is a wiggling zone. If you want, you can use a photo reference for this. Get real up close in there. Every eye pattern is different. All of these strands of iris are different parts of the muscle. It's really interesting, the biology of the eye. But you just want to stay in the same color family. Let's go, and we could add a couple yellow highlights if we really wanted to. Some flecks. Not all eyes are perfectly one shade. In fact, I'm going to do that just for some variety. And again, this looks really scribbly right now, but I promise you, it's gonna look really cool once we back it out. Okay. So let's go back towards my original color family here, using the eyedropper tool. Nope, 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 still on the eyedropper tool. And I want to try to avoid what I just did, which was going into my ring. You can go a little bit bonkers with the smudge tool if you really want. That's too much. Notice my strength for my smudge tool is at 100%. You don't necessarily want that, y'all. And now I can go in and blend them. It'll look really cool, but I'm not done yet. That might be a little too much. But hey, we're working with it. We're working with it. I'm going to come in and do another layer in really bright green, but thin lines, thin hard lines. Teeny tiny. Hopefully this video isn't getting too long because I'm having fun. Hope you are too. Hush, bathroom, just teach me the pretty colors. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. We'll go one more round of smudging, and then we're going to talk about highlights. That was really loud. I'm sorry, guys. Coffee's kicking in. Smudgy, smudgy. This seems like a lot of effort for such a small object or thing, but I promise you it pays off in the end. Okay?